Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it with 4 brands that you may have not heard of, but you may want to add to the radar, potentially, right? We're going to dive into it. Before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to one of my patrons, one of my good friends, Ron, aka Gandy Road. Ron was like, Judge, I know you love trying out new brands and so forth, ones that maybe not, most people have heard of. So he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and send you some samples. So Ron, I appreciate you, my friend. Thanks so much. All right, so we're diving into 4 brands. I'm gonna go very high level. So no prices on these bottles. I looked up most of them. They're all very reasonable, right? $50, $60, $70. But I'm not going so much about the prices. I'm just gonna give a couple facts about the distillery, the name of the brand, where they're located, and then just like what I'm sipping today. Cool? All right, so we're changing it up. And then for each one, I'm gonna give a verdict of whether or not if I think it's something that you should look into or maybe kind of hold off, right? Based off of this one sample. But we're gonna dive into it. All right. So we're gonna go in order here. So first up is a distillery or a brand called Silk Velvet. That by itself, pretty damn cool. Make sure this is there. This is it. So Silk Velvet. So Silk Velvet is based actually out of Henderson, Kentucky. They are sourcing their whiskey. Appears to be sourced, but they're really a brand. If you think about them, they are a brand that was around before Prohibition, right? So they're one of the brands that was around before Prohibition, and now someone recently has started the brand back up. They're starting it by obviously sourcing whiskey and creating, in this case, this is a small batch bourbon, right? So this is a small batch bourbon coming in at 107 proof from the brand Silk Velvet. Yes, look them up. Silk Velvet. All right, let me get into the nose real quick. So again, out of Kentucky, sourcing whiskey. So I got a nice nose on this. When brands source whiskey and they create a small batch, the cool thing about it is that, I know a lot of people are not into sourced whiskey, but in a lot of ways, I think sourced whiskey can actually be a really good thing. Here's the reason why. As long as they are blending it well, as long as they're doing it well, right? And it's a good blend as a whole, I'm cool with it, as long as it's good. All right, but we shall see. All right, Silk Velvet from Henderson, Kentucky. Nice nose, not bad at all. I'm not gonna go too deep just so that we can keep this moving. Tons of fruit, some caramel, not bad. All right, here we go. Cheers to Silk Velvet. Ooh, spicy. Wow, so I don't have the mash bill. Again, this is a small batch, so it's a blend, right? But I don't have the final combination from a blend standpoint. Tons of like baking spices, tons of pepper. Very peppery. So this is a small batch bourbon at 107 proof. Very good. Again, I don't have the exact price on this one, but if this was like a $50 or $60 bottle, I would say actually give it a try. I actually think it's really good. I like the blend on this one. Nice, thick, creamy, spicy, long finish at 107 proof. Probably sips actually slightly above the proof point. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Silk Velvet, if you see it in the store, the small batch bourbon at least, I would give that one a buy. Again, based off of not knowing the exact price. As long as it's around $50 or $60, I would say good. If this was like $100, maybe not there. But if it's $50 or $60, thumbs up for Silk Velvet. That's a good one. Ron, all right, my friend. I like it. Oh, who are we moving over to next? All right. Oh, boy, this is a fun one. So the next one we have O.H. Ingram. Yes, O.H. Ingram. So O.H. Ingram, this one's coming in at 121.7 proof. So O.H. Ingram also appears to be a brand where they are sourcing their whiskey, but what's very unique about them is the fact that their whole concept is that they are aging their whiskey. Listen to this. They're aging their whiskey on the Mississippi River. Yes, on this huge like boat tanker or whatever. They're aging their whiskey. They have multiple floors actually on the like within like their, I guess, their floating rick house, which is pretty damn cool, by the way. I guess a lot of people have said to me, like, Judge, it's kind of similar to like Jefferson's aged at sea, with the exception of it's not out in the ocean. It happens to be on the Mississippi River, and I believe the Mississippi River that's within actually like the constraints of Kentucky. So their whole concept of O.H. Ingram is not only aging the whiskey on the water, but the impacts of the temperature changes, like from daylight to sunset, how it gets hot, cool, etc. But then also how the whiskey moves around in the barrels because of the water, the whiskey kind of floating in the barrels and so forth. So I don't know. I don't know if it helps it. I don't know if it hurts it. I have no clue. But hey, we're going to try it, right? I know a lot of people are probably thinking, Judge, is that a little gimmicky? Could be. It could be. But hey, we shall see. We shall see. I don't want to judge a book by its cover, right? Just because it appears to be kind of gimmicky. We shall see. All right. So I will say, I also did give a huge thank you not only to Ron Gandy Road, but then also to the distillery. The distillery also gave me a sample of their whiskey. So I ended up having two, I believe almost the same ones, I believe. Because this one's 121.7 proof. And this is actually a rye. This is one of their ryes. I think they make ryes and bourbons, but this is actually one of their ryes. So thank you to Ron as well as the distillery. So this is definitely very peppery. Oh man, tons of mint, tons of pepper, some green apples. Not bad. All right, here we go. O.H. Ingram. Aged on the banks of the Mississippi River. I like it. We shall see. Cheers. Ooh, that's very good. That's quite tasty. Now, I am told, I don't know if this is truth or not because obviously they didn't put this on the website, but I'm told from my buddy Ron and several others that they're getting their whiskey from Green River. So it's Green River Distiller, right? So it is Kentucky, in this case, Kentucky Rye Whiskey. That's actually damn good, honestly. This was good. This is damn good. Very good. So I don't know if there's anything, like any truth to that whole movement around the whiskey moving around, obviously with the Mississippi River and so forth, and the whiskey kind of moving around in the barrels because of it floating on the river. But this is amazing. At 121 proof, nice long finish, bold, vibrant. But what I love about it is that it's peppery and you had the mint, but you also had a good influence of like caramel in there, especially for it being a rye. That's really good. Damn, that's nice. Woo! O.H. Ingram. This is a single barrel? It is a single barrel. If this is indicative of all their other whiskey, O.H. Ingram, yes, sir. You get a buy from me. That's pretty damn good. I mean, I do love Green River as well, but that doesn't taste like the standard Green River rye that I've had in the past. So maybe there is something with the whole heat elements, the whiskey moving around the barrels, etc. That's really good. Of all these four, I'm not gonna lie, this is the one that I was very skeptical about. Again, I don't have the price point, but I've heard from Ron, I've heard from a lot of other good friends that their whiskeys are very reasonably priced, $50, $60. So at that point, yeah, that's a definite no-brainer. All right, Judge, we're on to number 3. But before we get to number 3, 3 quick easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know, have you heard of any of these brands? And then last but not least, please make sure you all subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. Cool? All right, here we go. So number 3, this is S.N. Pike Magnolia. S.N. Pike Magnolia. So this is a double oak bourbon, batch 3, 116 proof. All right. S.N. Magnolia. So they too, shocker, sourcing their whiskey. Now it's sourced whiskey, but it is bottled by Whiskey Thief in Kentucky, right? It is bottled by Whiskey Thief in Kentucky. There's not really a lot about this brand other than the fact that the brand itself, the name S.N. Magnolia, was a brand that also existed before Prohibition, and now someone recently is bringing the brand and the name back to life. All right, 116 proof double oak bourbon. So what I love about NDPs or independent bottlers or non-distilling producers, in this case, what I personally love about them is that, you know, they can truly kind of do what they want in terms of like how long they age the whiskey, not only originally, but then how long they put it like in the secondary oak, because this is a double oak bourbon. They can kind of honestly kind of change it up batch by batch. Batch 1, they might put it in the secondary barrel for 3 months. Batch 2, batch 3 might be 6, 7, 8 months, or even a year. So that's the cool thing about NDPs. It's not just standard source whiskey, but they kind of you know, make it a little bit flexible, if you will, in terms of creating very cool concepts. So we'll see if this is good or not. All right, here we go. S.N. Pike Magnolia. All right. Cheers. Ooh, that's good. I have no clue what the base is, like what distillery they source this from. but it's spicy for a double oak bourbon. Very spicy. It's not your traditional double oak where you get a lot of like vanilla, deep oak, leather, brown sugar. This is very peppery. Damn, I'm honestly kind of surprised this is not like a double oak rye. Yeah, it's a double oak bourbon though. It's good though, at 116 proof. Not bad, not bad at all. Let me get another little sip. Cheers. Ooh. That's a spicy double oak. That is a spicy double oak bourbon. That one, I'm going to go ahead, just keep it real with you. For this one, I'm actually going to give this one a split decision. Here's the reason why. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good, but it doesn't taste like it's double oak. It's almost misleading in a way, right? To me, this sips honestly like it's a regular rye. Not even too much of a double oak rye. Maybe a double oak rye that's been double oaked for like a few weeks, but that does not taste like a standard double oak bourbon. When I think of a double oak bourbon, you are looking for that complexity with like the brown sugar, the leather, the oak, the caramel. This doesn't have that. If I sipped this blind, I would have truly thought this was probably a standard rye, and if it was a double oak rye, maybe double oak for like a month at best. That is different. So definitely different. Not bad. I would say try this at a bar first before you make your decision on whether or not you're going to buy a bottle of that. That's interesting. But again, not because it's bad. It's just different. Just different. All right. And last but not least, we have Circle City Double Oak Bourbon. All right, so I went from one double oak bourbon to another. So Circle City Double Oak Bourbon Batch 2, a 6.5-year-old double oak bourbon coming in at 117.5 proof. Now, this is actually a group of independent bottlers. They are getting their whiskey from a variety of different distilleries, blending it together, in this case, making a double oak bourbon. Let's get into this one real quick. So 6.5 years old, 117 proof. Now this nose is more of a traditional double oak bourbon. Very thick, brown sugar. All right, here we go. Cheers to Circle City. And cheers again to my man Ron. Thanks again, my friend. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. That's really, really good. Now that is a traditional double oak bourbon. Tons of leather, tons of brown sugar. I need to pause for a second. I need another sip. Oh, very thick, creamy. That to me is excellent. I don't know the price, but if this is anywhere from $50 to $70, hell yes. That is amazing, actually. And I would say, honestly, of these four, I didn't plan on doing this. Of these four, this to me by far is the best. This is probably second best. So first place would probably be Circle City, just for these samples. Second place would be O.H. Ingram, the rye. Excellent. Third place would be Silk Velvet. And then fourth place would be S.N. Pike Magnolia. Again, not because this one's bad. It's just because it doesn't taste like a double oak bourbon. That is the reason why. But they're all actually really good. 4 new brands. Might as well check them out. Hey, my friends, as you say in the courtroom, peace, cheers, most important, salute. Take care. See you guys.